How me feel about Studio One? Well, Studio One is number one. Yeah, son. Scrappa rocks. Daddy, please, I beg you, put the stereo on. Take out the 45 and play the Studio One. Mama's in the kitchen on a Sunday. From me fam, believe me now, go run where.
Brite Lite Promotions, Joe C-Rock Madden. We back. Special guest in the house tonight, all the way from the UK. It's a pleasure to have the legendary King Tubbys in the house tonight. First and foremost, we're going to start off with the owner of King Tubbys. We're going to give you a little history on the sound. Brite Lite Promotions, once again. King Tubbys, introduce yourself.
My name is CECIL Rennie, aka King Tubbys. Born in Jamaica, grew up in London from the age of 13. Run a sound system from 1970 until 2016, which is today. Well, the sound's been going for quite a while. Specialize in Jamaica music, 45 dub special, and pre-releases.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Everybody know the name King Tubbys is synonymous with reggae music. When we think of King Tubbys, we think about the legendary producer King Tubbys. But the sound itself, what is the connection with the producer King Tubbys and the sound?
Well, as you know, in Jamaica, and when you go up in the UK, every sound system in the UK want to name their sound off of a sound in Jamaica. I choose the name King Tubbys. I leave England in 1970, go to Jamaica to actually meet Tubbys and introduce myself, and from there the two was just born.
Okay. How instrumental was King Tubbys in the actual building of the sound system King Tubbys?
Well, King Tubbys only give me a certain ideas of what to do, you know what I mean, and I follow that. A guy in England called Errol Prettiger that built my amplifier, preamps and everything like that.
Okay. I'm glad you started talking about the amps and the preamps. Brite Lite Promotions, one of the videos that I'm proud of that we have produced on our YouTube channel was the legendary Josh Shaka performing in California. King Tubbys, you said from 1970 till 2016. You went to Jamaica in 1970, you started building the sound system. What was it like in the UK from that point till now as far as competing against Josh Shaka and the original dub masters in the UK?
Well, as I said, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but away from Jamaica, when I started my sound, England was a leading music for reggae. Out of Jamaica, all the songs used to go to the UK, sent by the producers that produce the music, because there in England was the base for sales and so forth, and actually let people hear the music. Now, when we talk about Josh Shaka, as you said, the history of Josh Shaka started from me, because really, Shaka, as a youngster like myself, started, but I was more like the forefront runner with everyone in the community, you know me. And I decided to say, Shaka, come, let's do this, and you know me. Start bringing him. I used to have a little club, and we used to play there every Thursday. So when you mention Shaka, you're really touching back in the roots of the reggae music.
Brite Lite Promotions, that's what we do. Shout out to the legendary Channel 1 Sound System. Check out that interview on our page as well. The roots, as far as the UK sound system goes, it goes much deeper than just the music itself. The UK, more than any foreign-based nation, seems to concentrate on the actual sound system culture, building the preamps, building your sound system. What was that like back then, and how do you see it now forwarding as far as the foreign-based sounds? Is it still that the UK is leading with the sound system culture itself?
Well, I'd say the quality of the sound that you really get in the UK is much wider quality of sound than what you get, you know, to most places. I've been to Germany, I've been to Holland, everywhere in Europe. I myself go and play sound system, introduce reggae music to the people there. Because I remember when I first went to Germany, they didn't even know what we were talking about. It's only a few people that actually hear of reggae and know reggae.
Okay. Are you familiar with Barney Miller from Germany?
No, I'm not really. I've heard of them.
Okay.
But the songs that I've heard about is Pow Pow. I help a few guys in a place called Aachen in Germany to build a sound called Small Axe. I don't know, a lot of people, if you look at the boxes, it's boxes that I used to have and I sell it to them because in Germany they know nothing about reggae music and bass box and things like that.
I have some photos of King Tubby's sound system online with the original bass boxes. Is that a novelty, or do you still have the original sound system Tubbys? And if a promoter in the UK call you now, are you going out there and actually stringing up the preamps and you getting ready for war?
Well, yeah, I've got all my equipment same way. I don't sell, I don't lend, and I don't borrow.
Okay, now before we go on to the younger selectors on King Tubby's, because we got them in the house too, Brite Lite Promotions. They on a US tour right now, and we got a lot to talk about. But before we move on to the younger selectors, what are some of the competitions that King Tubby's has had in the UK as a foundation sound system to build you to the point where you're at right now?
Well, as I say, from 1970 until now, King Tubby's playing every venue, everything. I play at wedding, funeral, anything, sound clash, a lot. You name it, King Tubby's do it. We never leave the road from 1970 until now.
Who are some of the rivals? When I think about the UK sound system scene, I think about Tubbys, I think about Saxon, I think about Coxon, I think about Love Injection. What are some of the rivalries that has gone on over the years since 1970 between these sound systems?
No, well, everyone's saying in the UK that who has got the best sound. As far as I'm concerned, I've got the best sound. I've got the most consistent sound system in the UK. And I repeat again, from 1970 I haven't left the street. I'm still playing from that day until today.
Okay, now I'm glad that I have you in the house because I could ask you certain questions that maybe the younger selectors can't answer. When the young selectors string up in the dance and they get to the tune for tune segment of the dance, what are some of the artists that you have in the box that King Tubby's could brag and boast on another sound system and say, you can't play this, or you can't play that?
Well, it's very hard to say that right now, at the way the music business is going, because you have got quite a few young sounds that come into business, and because they want to play catch up, because tunes that has passed, they're now cutting back. Well, I can say I've got a quarter dozen tunes. One of my main rivals is rivalry, where I know I play that, put it on the turntable and turn it back because I know no someone can play it.
Tell me somebody in the box again that you don't think nobody could play right now.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I can't really think offhand because the point is, as I said, as soon as these young selectors hear of an artist, they start hunting that artist.
Yes.
The reason why I said Iroy, I know he would not vice the tune. He's deceased now, mind you.
Yes.
But from 1970 up to today, he has never viced it for anyone. And if he was alive, I swear that he would stand up and say, no, I can't do that.
And for you young boys out here with the Sound Clash business that love Gully and Gaza, the first war I could remember was actually Roy against Jazzbo. That's one of the first Sound Clash that I could remember between artists. You probably could go further back than that than me, I'm saying, but one of the first Sound Clash that I remember between artists was Roy versus Jazzbo.
And Jazzbo.
So big up to the legendary King Tubbys. You got some dates coming up. Hopefully I could hear Roy on the tune for tune, since certain sounds can't draw for it. But how do you feel about the younger selectors now on the sound, the dancehall scene, and the way the music is moving?
Well, I find it's interesting and it's nice and some of them. The only thing I don't like, and I'm not going to hide it to say it to anyone, I don't like the swearing. Because when I play my sound, I like a lot of women around me. I don't like man.
Poop, poop.
So when you start swearing, you find the women that start to drift away. And I like to have a lot of women around me. I'd rather a woman cheer for me than a man.
Yes.
So that is one of the things I see that is actually pushing the women them away from the dance thing. Because when you tell them, they say, no, I'm not coming to the dance, I'm swear too much.
Me personally, I follow the sound that got more women following the sound than men. But big up to King Tubbys again. What made you go into as far as keeping the sound legacy going and hiring the selectors that you have on the sound now? Tell us a little bit about the selectors that you have passed the baton on to and have them represent King Tubby's sound.
No, well, the first thing I do, you know, if a selector or MC or whatsoever they want to call themselves, if you don't have discipline, you can't work with me. And from me have discipline, we'll go anywhere. And I want to be comfortable, know that I'm not going, but I'm sending you and you're representing me. Don't represent yourself. And you start representing yourself, may you fall apart. Straight up.
Okay. Who are the selectors that's representing your sound now, King Tubbys, in 2016?
Now, well, I've got Little Buck and Big Buck in London. I've got with me here SCRAPPA and Harvey. SCRAPPA has been with me over the years. He's like my son. And Harvey is the new selector on the sound. He's the last, you know what I mean, of the selectors that come around the sound.
What do you see in them as selectors that made you put them on the legendary King Tubby sound?
Well, they play the music to suit the people that I entertain.
Okay.
And that is different.
King Tubby sound, the legendary, the owner. We gonna pass it on. We gonna get with the younger selectors right now and talk about this U.S. tour that King Tubbys is currently on right now. It's a lot of dates, a lot of things to talk about. Brite Lite Promotions. Stay tuned. King Tubbys sound, Brite Lite Promotions, we back.
Yes, Brite Lite, well, go on.
The U.S. tour going on right now. Big dates. This weekend, you in the World Clash. That's a big dance. You're clashing Stereo 5 sound. Basically a sound that in New York right now is on the map, basically as the king of the Bronx. It's a big dance earlier this year. Stereo 5 was crowned the king of the Bronx. Shout out to Tech Nine Promotions. And you're clashing a sound that is arguably undefeated in King Animosity. People say they're a cartel factory. So you're coming to the U.S. right now and you're not taking on light competition. You're taking on sounds that people know about, people are coming out, they're excited to see. What made King Tubbys actually decide to go this hard in 2016 in the U.S.?
Well, first of all, in the US, in New York, we haven't been New York for 15 years. We've been other parts of America, but New York itself, we haven't been there for 15 years. So we thought we'd start off the rumble in New York and just show the people, say, what King Tubbys is about.
Okay. King Tubbys, we just got finished speaking to the owner of the sound since 1970. You being a young selector coming on the sound, how long have you actually been on the sound, King Tubbys?
I've been on the sound for 22 years still.
Okay, so you grew up on the sound.
Definitely from turntable days.
When did you actually start going out and clashing, representing King Tubby's sound?
Well, we was always clashing in England still, with enough different sounds. You get me? But the real touring clashes started for me in Europe, Germany and then place there, Italy.
What was your first big clash representing King Tubby's?
Well, the one I can remember, the biggest clash, the first in Europe, I would just say Soundquake.
Soundquake. Okay. Pardon me. We should have started off by you introducing yourself because this is your first time on Brite Lite Promotions. We didn't get a proper introduction from you.
Big up Brite Lite. This is SCRAPPA out from King Tubbys. England, London, Brixton.
Okay, there you go with the intro. We back to this interview. Your first big clash was against Soundquake, you said?
Yeah, that I can remember. Yeah,
Okay.
in Europe. Yeah.
As far as England, because we want to fast forward the thing a little bit because King Tubby's is in the U.S. They making a mark right now, so we want to get to the spicy stuff. As far as England, what was your first big clash in England that you represented King Tubby's sound?
Well, I can remember more likely King Tubbys and Coxon.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that experience, you coming out as a youngster on the sound, representing King Tubby's.
Well, just finishing school them times there and lifting up the speaker box and help setting up the sound, and it was a good joy, it was a good feeling. Like it was, you know, you really feel like you're part of the sound, and King Tubbys was an icon in Brixton. Anyway, so when we're getting out to the next man's area and you have people following you and the trucks rolling out, you just feel good.
All right. I want to talk about this Walk With Your Casket dance, October 21st, the Bronx, New York. King Tubby's Stereo 5 Animosity. Stereo 5 was a sound that when you get in the middle, the end of the dance, and you in the middle of tune for tune, they could play a nitty gritty on you. They could draw for Dennis Brown on you. In those times of the dance, you representing King Tubbys for 22 years. What's some of the songs that you got in the box that Stereo 5 should be worried about?
Really and truly, this is live. Anybody want to hear the songs, then they come to the dance. This is live. But unfortunately, casket can't fly on plane. So we're going to come with 2 body bag.
Okay. Have you had a chance to actually listen to Stereo 5 Clash or King Animosity Clash?
I've done my homework, definitely.
Okay. You accepted the dance with them, so obviously you think the sounds is at a level that they could play with King Tubby's. What do you think is some of the things that you've noticed with these sounds that's impressive to you?
Well, every sound have their strong points and their weak points, but I just watch King Tubby's business, you know?
Okay. That's the perfect answer right there. That's what I was actually looking for, because you ain't supposed to be complimenting no sound before no clash. But October 21st, King Tubby's, Stereo 5, King Animosity, that's in the Bronx. Check that out. Tech 9 Promotions. Shout out to Mikey Glamour. October 22nd, Atlanta, King Tobo, King Tubby's, King Eternity. Shout out to Mikey Glamour. King Tubby's sound. If the promoters or the fans or anybody want to link you on Facebook or listen to the music, where can they reach out to King Tubby Sound online?
They can check out King Tubby's Facebook. It's King Tubby's Sound System. King Tubby's Facebook, and you can log on to King Tubby's Instagram. King Tubby Sound Instagram. Definitely. And you catch the numbers and the email, all on that. We don't really too much in the media thing, but we have to work with it. So you definitely can catch up the numbers, the emails on the Facebook and the Instagram. And even Google.
Okay. And apart from these 3 clashes coming up, 2017, what can the fans look out for with King Tubby's?
Well, you can just look out for King Tubby's name, because we play all type of events. We go all areas, all countries, so anything is possible.
Promoters, look forward to these dates. King Tubby Sound definitely on the move, definitely making an impact in the U.S. 3 back-to-back dates. King Tubby Sound, 1970 to 2016. Legendary status. Respect that. Respect the foundation. Brite Lite Promotions, Joe C. Rock Madden, Tech9 Promotions, Mikey Glamour. Check out Mikey Glamour's sound page. He got a lot of music on there for you.